All right. Hello, everyone. Today is the 21st February. My name is Vadim Bauer, and here is the official CNCF Harbor community meeting. And today we have on the agenda a few topics. One of those is presentation of Scarf and how this can help Harbor understand a bit more how people are using our product. And yeah, today I think on the agenda is the first topic, and we'll start with Arjun, who would like to talk about about Scarf and how other CNCF projects are using it, and how can we also benefit from that. Right, Arjun, stage is yours.
Sure. So essentially what Scarf does is provide some usage analytics around how different pieces of open source software are being used. This takes the form of a lot of different pieces of that usage, and we have the ability to help track a lot of different types of open source software. So we're working with a bunch of different Cloud Native Computing Foundation projects right now, many of which I think we had talked about in previous calls, but there's many graduated projects, incubating projects, people who are at various stages of this to help them understand what their usage looks like. A lot of times these communities are also using Scarf within their community meetings. So I guess at meetings like this, where they'll basically come and start to look through the Scarf dashboard basically every other week or whatever to understand more about their usage. So yeah, we're working with a bunch of big projects right now, and yeah, we can talk through what that actually provides in the platform. Melanie, do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I can do that here. Let's get this open. Can everyone see my screen here?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Perfect. So like Arjun was saying, basically with Scarf results, we're able to track your open source usage. With that, we're able to actually give you metrics on the total number of downloads versus the total number of unique downloads. So being that the unique number of IPs, as well as total views or total unique views with our pixel that we have, which would be tracking anyone that's looking at your documentation. We start to build out what downloads over time looks like, so we can start to see if there are specific times that it spiked or maybe went downhill. We can show you which downloads by which package. Break it down into, hold on, where am I looking here? And then, give me 1 second. Arjun, can you show yours? I don't know why.
Yeah. Go to the individual package page.
Yeah, let me get there. That's what I'm looking for. Apologies for that. So then, yeah, so like I was saying, we can see downloads over time. We can actually see downloads by which platform they're using, so which operating system. We can go into which client they use, which cloud provider, the country that these downloads are actually happening, and then which versions are being downloaded. From all this, we can start to build out information of seeing which versions are being most popular. Maybe there's specific countries that are using the software that we would want to target. So kind of just building out this whole story here now, so you can really see how your users are actually using your software. And then even information around which companies are using your software as well.
Yeah, and I think something else that is not, I guess, as evident in the UI here, but basically we have the ability to give this as either line by line raw events. So you can see, you know, every time somebody actually downloaded Harbor, or every time they started to look at the documentation for Harbor. And keep in mind, I think Melanie mentioned this, but the pixel is super lightweight. It doesn't have any JavaScript or cookies, so it can be put basically anywhere without having to be very invasive or anything. But yeah, being able to understand, you know, what's happening for every single event anytime a user comes and interacts with the software, as well as understanding some of these aggregated roll-ups. So understanding like which countries are the ones that are using, or which locations are the ones that are using Harbor the most, and when should maybe a community meetup be hosted, or what types of events are worth going to. You know, if you're expecting to go to KubeCon, for example, what percentage of the users of Harbor are actually located near this current KubeCon, KubeCon Paris, for example. And then also understanding more about the product usage statistics. So like Melanie mentioned, stuff like what types of operating systems are people running this on? What types of clients are they downloading Harbor through? What types of, you know, machines are they using? Giving you a better idea of where to focus development efforts. So for example, something that people will do, like a project called Apache Superset. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a big project in the Apache Software Foundation. Is every time they have a community meeting, they will review the SCARF data and try to understand which of their versions are being downloaded the most, as well as what pages in their documentation are being looked at the most. So if they see that one particular page is being viewed a lot, then you know they know that that feature is being used quite extensively. And that can give them some ideas around which feature they need to prioritize going forward in their development cycles. Yeah, and then understanding more about, you know, what types of organizations are also using Harbor, I think can be, generally speaking, like good community statistics. Understanding what commercial adoption looks like can be helpful in either getting more companies to be a part of the contribution process, or just understanding, you know, what types of industries Harbor is really the most adopted within, that kind of thing. And the way that this works is fairly simple. So I think Vadim may have brought this up in the past, but basically it acts as a gateway where we would be sitting in front of some but basically like endpoint or piece of data that you could be downloading through. I think Vadim, you had mentioned that we would either want to take that approach, or we might want to take the approach where you guys are just collecting some data and then having us enrich that data with some of this stuff. So there's really a lot of different options as far as being able to collect these statistics. But yeah, I guess something that's nice here is that being part of the Linux Foundation, you guys would actually have access to all of this stuff for free. So like the platform downloads, the country downloads, the client downloads, the version downloads, all that stuff. The only thing that gets restricted on our Linux Foundation free plan is the commercial insights, because typically that's when people are using it for more like commercial purposes.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, for us, for the project, what I see here as a benefit is, well, as Arjun said, like having a bit more transparency about the users of Harbor, like who's downloading and which versions are still downloaded. Thanks to this is something that we, you know, will help us in the future to guide the project in the right direction. And regarding the proxying and the gateway thing, we have already an open PR in Harbor, which I can share, which would make the need of the proxy and the gateway not a requirement, right? So we could use let me just my screen. Okay. Okay, do you see the PR? No, it's the wrong one, right?
Yep.
It's the GitLab thing. No, it's GitLab, right?
Yeah, it's GitLab.
Oh yeah, sorry, GitLab one. So there's currently a PR that basically where we could use the audit log, and the audit log can be then parsed and forwarded to SCARF and the Scarf audit log will then, the audit log from Harbor can be used as an ingestion for Scarf, and then we can use this functionality without having a proxy or gateway in the middle, and we can use Harbor for that directly. And as we plan anywhere to use Harbor as our registry to distribute our own software, this would come in handy, right? So there's like already a PR that's well requested and demanded from various sites in many years, and we have now a PR for that, solution for that, and this falls hand in hand with what we have.
Yeah, so this approach actually is a very easy and simple approach, which I think is a good idea, Vadim. So the idea of just being able to collect that data and then pass it to us to enrich, we are fully GDPR compliant on our end. So, when we do some of that enrichment of IPs, we don't store any of those IPs long term. We just do the enrichment and then send you back the data. So it's something that we've really thought about carefully from a privacy standpoint. As mentioned, we have partnership with the Linux Foundation, as well as we're an approved external service provider from the Apache Software Foundation. So just some of these like very privacy conscious, serious foundations in the open source space are ones that have done some vetting of our privacy and security postures, and I think it's something that we take seriously. I guess it would be interesting to hear if either of you have any questions. I know there's some folks who are not able to make the call today who will probably watch this recording and then hopefully have some questions for us after that. But Thomas and Florian, would love to hear any thoughts you have or any questions that come to mind.
Just to be clear, because at first I thought that Scarf was that we would use it to know the users of Harbor, like who use the open source project Harbor, and from what told Vadim, it's more for the customers to know who use their Harbor registry. I don't know if I'm clear, but
well, there are two use cases here. I think like there is like the two possible use cases, and we are talking actually about one. Like when we want to use, so the goal is that we would like to use our own Harbor registry to serve Harbor images, like the Harbor images that we publish, serve them to our user base, not via Docker Hub, but via our own registry, and this is where we would like to hook Scarf into. And of course, people who are using Harbor, like our users, they can use this as well, but this is not related to the discussion today, right? So today's discussion is just how can we use this technology and functionality to understand a bit more about the users of Harbor, right?
Okay.
And what our users do on their side is not something that
I think that secondary piece of it is something that maybe could be interesting in the future, but I think for the time being, definitely understanding more about just the pure Harbor usage is probably going to be a good first step.
Yep. Yeah, great. And I have another question. How do you identify the companies in the graph? Because I think it's thanks to the IP. But what happens if the IP is an IP of AWS or Azure or Google Cloud? The company that will be displayed will be the cloud provider, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So we definitely, a lot of the data is definitely obscure. The commercial data specifically is obscured from understanding cloud providers. But then we are able to let you know what cloud providers are being used there, and we're able to understand based on the data that we can get back from those cloud providers, at least how many different instances exist within that cloud provider. So for example, if you see like 50,000 downloads coming from AWS, how many of those are like unique in their entity, I guess. So yeah, that is definitely a place that, there is some obscuring of data from us, obviously, as well as from you. But it's also something we're able to like parse out from the rest of the data so we can help you understand, which ones of the downloads are coming from cloud providers, which ones of them are not. And of those cloud providers, which cloud providers are they? And within each of those cloud providers, how many of those are unique downloads? Also, just generally what we find with pretty much any solution is that if somebody is using it extensively in production in a cloud environment, then somebody at that organization is probably also or at least will download it, at least once or twice on their own personal machine. So you're typically able to get some sense of whether or not an organization is using the project regardless. But for sure, yeah, that is a part that is a little bit difficult to see through.
If I
Another
can add one thing there also, this is where also instrumenting the docs can be very helpful as well, because even if, even if an organization is, hitting your registry from, a VPS or these kinds of cloud providers, they're still going to look at docs from their, from their laptop as well. But yeah, as Arjun said, every IP address is tagged with the metadata of like what type of connection it is. And that type can either be an ISP, a cloud hosting provider, a business, an educational institution, or a government organization. And so every IP address will be tagged with that metadata as well. That was all I had, Arjun, if you wanted to keep going.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing with the Pixel.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I guess any other questions? Florian, did you have any thoughts or anything that you wanted to talk to?
No question.
I guess I'm curious to hear if this seems like something that you think you could get value out of from the container registry. I'm sorry, from the Harbor perspective, which is like just understanding more about what the usage of Harbor looks like and being able to help inform some product making decisions and stuff like that around that. I guess it's a kind of a general question, like.
I mean, from my perspective, yes. I think that's definitely gonna be indicator for the project to see, how people are using, and just having indicator to know that how many that many users on AWS or Azure are using Harbor is already an indicator about the product and how people are using it, right? Because there is an alternative in the space there, and still people choose Harbor, and this is something that influences the product or influences how we address this, and there are some AWS specific issues in our repository, and if you know that like thousands of users on AWS, we can address this functionality and make those thousands of people happy, or thousands of users happy, right? So I think that's definitely something for us from the project perspective, having an understanding is very beneficial, and that's why I also invited Scarf people here to make a presentation. Okay, yeah, okay then. If there are no questions, I would say thank you very much for your presentation, and I'll share the recording then with the other maintainers and see that we can get in consent here and move to the next step.
Cool.
Okay, thank you. I would like then to move with the other topics. I mean, if you want, you can stay. But
Sorry, one quick thing I was just going to mention before we before you guys transition into other topics is just we have a community Slack in case you guys are interested in joining that. We can answer any questions that come up or
okay, yeah. Place the link here in the chat, and I'll share this with the
there you go.
With the recordings.
Yep.
All right.
And we can create a channel specifically for Harbor, and that way, as any questions come up as you guys are deliberating on this more and or implementing it, then
Okay.
should be easy for us to help answer them for you.
that's interesting. That's nice. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, thank you guys for your time.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody.
thank you for your time and for the presentation.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, Thomas, Laurent. Are there any updates on the technical side? Oh yeah, Zhaoling.
Hey, Vadim. Sorry I'm late.
Hello. Hey, what's going on in China?
Yeah, we just back from the Chinese New Year holiday. So
Okay.
people is wrap up, and then some team members still on PTO. So hopefully we can get the team member back next week.
Okay. So you're all on holidays this week. I thought it was over, but yeah, of course you probably
Last
just
week
prolonged.
actually last
Okay.
week is the official holiday, but people here will take some additional leave, right? So after that, or
Okay.
before that, yeah.
I see. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, thank you for joining still. We've been having a discussion with people from Scarf. They showed about their product, and I'll put it in the so we're recording it, so you can guys watch it later then.
Sure, no problem.
And yeah, Arjen, if you want, you can stay, but you can also leave. It's up to you. We can just move on with the other topics.
No problem. I can stay.
Okay, you can stay, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move to the next topic on the agenda. I mean, we don't have that much on the agenda. We have Florian and Thomas here, and maybe Florian can tell something about telecom provider if there's some updates.
Yes, I saw there is a pull request about updating the documentation of the Terraform Harbor provider. You reply to it, but I didn't have time to check it yet. So I don't know if you want to discuss about it. Or...
Yeah, it's I've looked at it, and it seemed to be quite complex, but I think it's because there's a lot of changes, right? And the changes
Yes.
happening because there is what are you looking at currently? Yeah. Right. So this is the right one, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure which tab I'm sharing, so it's okay. So the Terraform provider is the pull request here.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, update docs. So the goal of the pull request from the user is to kind of update the documentation and yeah, make it conformant with Terraform. I think Terraform registry, right? So to have this in the Terraform registry conformed by. So there's quite a few changes, and it's I think it's basically automatically generated, right?
Yeah, I saw some files, some template file. I saw it some days ago. So yes, he is using this Terraform plugin.
And I think if you make comments in the right places in the code or in the description, it will then put those comments into the documentation, right? So probably you can kind of enrich the documentation with this information, but I didn't. Yeah, so this is how it looks like then. Yeah, so this is the.
Okay.
I think okay, that makes sense because there's some description and text here, right? Looks to me that that it's possible to enrich it, and I think it makes sense to adopt it, right? So there's like a, I mean, it's a standard Terraform, right? So Terraform documentation, and I'm not sure if it's going to be perfect, but it's going to be anywhere better than what we have now.
Yes. Okay, so I will check it.
Yeah, we'll just need to make sure that this kind of are working, and yeah, from my side, it's okay. We can see if this works, and if not, then yeah, we have nothing to lose because we didn't have any other thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you. So there are no other requests and issues on Terraform side?
No,
Yeah,
nothing.
no, nothing, huh? Okay. Did you use the new Golang CDK? No, not CDK, the Golang client. There is a new release of the Go client, or you're not sure? Huh?
I don't remember which version we are using. Let me check. I think I updated recently.
Are you just using directly from code, right? You're not using specific version, or are you?
Yes, no, it's in the GoMod, yes. I think it's 1.22.
And we have here, okay, 210.
Ah, you mean the Go client? Oh, no, I'm not using it.
Ah, okay. Ah, you're not using the Go client. Okay.
No.
Ah, okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. Apart from that, are there any other topics we would like to discuss?
Yes.
Thomas, yes, Thomas?
Yes, last time at the last community meeting, we talked about the Arbor operator. We told that before archiving the project, we would look for new maintainers, new contributors. And I don't know if communication has been sent. I looked for it on Slack, but I don't find it. I'm not sure we sent a message here.
No, not yet. I think it's still due.
Okay.
It's still not, yeah, still not done. I think it was with the Olin. He wanted to send this message out.
Okay.
Okay, I'll ping him.
I don't know if we want it on the. Yeah, maybe Arlene forgot because we didn't write it on the page.
Yes. I'll update.
Okay. Could be nice to send it before the KubeCon.
Yeah. That's definitely the case. Then we can ask the people if they join KubeCon, they can approach us and then we can discuss the detail in the location at the location. I have a small update regarding the update of progress regarding the LFX program. So as you maybe know, we have 2 projects that we announced on the LFX mentorship program, and we received about I think 30 or 40 applications. All, I would say the majority of the applications, I wouldn't say all, but majority of the applications were quite high quality. So there are a lot of engaged young people there. A few of course were ChatGPT generated. A few had no profile information, things like this. But I would say in general, like 80%, 90% were really high quality, and it was tough to make a decision. And we have picked now, or I have picked a few favorites, and whom we would like to move forward. We had already made a few interviews, and so I think the goal is to have a decision by the end of the week, so that we have 2 projects. Then people can start working on 2 projects. So one project is already picking up pace. I mean, people are already eager to contribute. It's just going to share you some results. Go Harbor CLI.
CLI.
Exactly.
How many people will you take for the LFX program?
we can take only one person per program. So I think we made
Okay.
a bit of we should have maybe split it up into like 2 projects, and then we could have 2 people or 3 people, right? But unfortunately, we have just Harbor CLI for one project, and
Yeah.
so there's one person, unfortunately. But there are quite a few pull requests already open from different mentees or applicants to the mentees, and yeah, we can run the application, and it is working. We can pull images. We can get information, create things, and yeah, it kind of takes shape, and it's nice. So our goal is to have a kind of a register, kind of a CLI that is kind of mimicking a bit of the kubectl, right? This similar syntax. And yeah, so a lot of functionalities are already working, and there's of course some things that are not working, but yeah, we're getting there. And I hope with the Menti we can add some more functionalities in there, and maybe in a few months after, yeah, we can release the CLI into the public and out of the sandbox, maybe to some sort of incubator or things like this.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
great, Vadim. So, by the way, do we have already get some candidate for this 2 projects?
Yes.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah. And fix.
And what's the second project?
The second project was it's the kind of it's more of a POC. It's not a full project, and the second project is called Harbor Satellite, right? So I've been looking into this topic since quite some time now, and it's called like Harbor Satellite, and I would like to make a proof of concept here, so that we can have a kind of an edge registry, and this edge registry can be we could use Arbor replication capabilities to replicate images to an embedded registry, which is sitting on the edge. And we can kind of populate images into this edge registry, and then the edge location can fetch images from this registry and use that one. And yeah, so this is about exploring the options there and how this can be implemented. And I've created a kind of a proof of concept project here, and there are some people already applied. I think like 10 people applied to this program. Let me just check if I can find this from here. Yeah, I'll explain this probably in one of the next community meetings about this specific option. The thing is that I labeled it a bit more as a proof of concept, because I think it will take some time until we get this kind of have something really let's say useful in there, and that's why we need kind of have just a simple proof of concept here. Yeah, that's this one here, satellite. Yeah, and I'll present. I'm currently still kind of gathering requirements, analyzing what the options that there are, and I made some kind of concepts, and I think it would be nice to explore this in the proof of concept setup. Okay, yeah, that's it from my side from the updates. Are there any other topics?
Yeah, just a quick status update. I think for the 2011, the Beijing team is working on that release. We all know the major feature in this release is the SBOM integration, right? So before the Chinese holiday, I think the Beijing team have a discussion on the SBOM design proposal. So we still will do a little bit of change in that design, which currently is still working on that. So probably it may cause this release, this 2011 release to be delayed a few weeks because that change. So that that change for the design will reflect in the PR, maybe in the next few days. So people in community or Vadim, you can also take a look at that design again.
Yeah, I requested access. There was a mirror board, right? Shared. And
yeah, that mirror board is just for UI change, I think.
Oh, okay.
And the PR also have already passed the UI mockup in the PR instead of put it in the mirror board. So I think it will directly be reviewed in the PR.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Is there already a PR that we can take a look at?
I think that is just a UI change.
Yeah, we already have.
it-
A PR for this. Yeah, and
In the
I have
community,
already
right?
asked the other of the microboard to make it public, so then you guys can have access to that. Yeah, I believe that Orlin has already have the permission to review the UI change, right? And yeah, so because that we did have some back and forth on the design, so we probably need to postpone the about 2 weeks on the FCE. So yeah.
So did
Yeah,
you
just,
update the proposal, or is it still the old proposal here?
You mean the design proposal, right?
Yeah, well, the SBOM proposal general, like how it's gonna look like. The visuals and also the concept, because you said you need to do some rework, right?
Yeah.
And
So we already have one regarding to this. Can you just click the proposal list? We already have one PR on our backend design, right? And yeah, you can open the MD file, the last one. In the PR, yeah.
Okay, the Harbor PR or this SBOM PR?
Just the current one.
Okay.
The current one, you can just click the last file, SBOM generation scan the MD file. Right.
Okay. Where is this one? It's here, no?
The design proposal is in the community repo.
Yeah, that's what I said before. Okay. You mean this one, right? Or not?
Yeah, this one.
This one, right? This is the SBOM that we had.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, you can just open the MD file.
Okay.
The previous type. Yeah.
This one.
Yes.
All right.
And you guys can start review this proposal.
All right. Okay, that's what I wanted to ask. If this is the right one to look at. Wait, I need to.
Yes. This is the right one.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
By the way, there will still some a little changes in the design in the next few days.
Yeah,
okay.
Probably we can finalize the design and by the end of next week. So because that we have another one review regarding the changes. So we'll have the final design by the end of next week. So you guys can start to review that one. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll take a look then. Yeah. Okay. Right. Then we have still some topics covered today. Okay. Well, then I have no other topics. Do anyone else has topic?
Sorry. Do we have any updates regarding the KubiCon? And I mean that should we start preparing for this, the slides or demo or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, Orlin created a video, right? So he made a really professional video, and you probably seen it. And other information I don't have about KubeCon, like what, yeah, probably we need to prepare the presentation, right? So we need to start with the preparation.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm looking for the templates. I didn't receive any templates yet, so probably
Okay.
they will come. I didn't have any notification about the templates.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So who is coming from your side? From China?
I'm not sure because of the budget problem. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
still wait for some information from the company about the budget to support this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, then I have no other topics. If there is no other topics, we can close for today.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Have a
Thank
nice
you,
holiday in China, and see you next week then.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
One. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.